I started going to a Celebrate Recovery, told them, hey, I don't want your Jesus. I'm just going to use this as another meeting. I'm an AA guy, so I'll go to your small group meeting, but I don't want any of your Jesus. Hey guys, I'm gonna go shut the door. It's a little. All right, this week we're dealing with step 2. It's a difficult step. So today, in this video, we're just hanging out. I got a new skateboard at our church. There's a skate church group. We go to the skate park and have fun. I've been borrowing everybody else's boards, and I thought it would be time to get my own deck. Now, I skated when I was a kid, and I don't think I'm a kid anymore. As much as I feel like it, I feel like a kid. I feel good, and so I think it's time to enjoy life the way that God intended through a sober lifestyle, which is more than just abstaining, but it's right thinking. I do want to offer some hope. Hope today. You can have some hope. Isn't that nice? So Helen, the artist that did my wonderful artwork for my album, search Jeremy Grogan on Amazon, Spotify, or YouTube Music, Pandora. You should see the album, and this is the original art. I think that's right, yeah. So I think a lot of you guys know that we're in step 2, where as we're going through, finishing out the year with the 12 steps. We're not going to go through all of these books yet. We're going to go through all of them starting January, but with a lot of other stuff. We've got things from Bill W. we're going to go through, things that he had intended for the program of Alcoholics Anonymous before it really became what we know today. He had 12 principles that guided the 12 steps. So I do want to highlight in some of the videos throughout the week for step 2, we'll focus on different things, but I want to focus on the scripture reference which comes out of Philippians, and that is, for it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. Amen. And one of his good purposes is for us to be a good father. So I got this new skateboard here. And my daughter has a foundation skateboard. Hers is pretty sweet too. I got some riding wheels, whatever. These are pretty sweet. And a helmet. I didn't really want the helmet, but my wifey said that I have to have a helmet. So I got the helmet. I don't know if I'm wearing it right, but I'm sure someone will tell me. Did you guys see that board? It's a birdhouse. I'm gonna go get some lights because I forgot to get lights. I always do that stuff. There we go. I think the lights didn't make a difference. I always do that. Forget something. All right. So we're at step 2. I came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. How did I come to believe? Well, here guys, like I said in my previous video, that this is just me. I didn't make a decision to believe in God. Now I did make a decision to realize there was a problem, and so ultimately denial was something that I think is just unavoidable when you lose everything. But I just don't believe that I would have come to that realization if I didn't lose everything. This is a really handy bag. Maybe someday I'll do a video on this. I keep it in my vehicle. It's got a lot of emergency equipment, screwdrivers, stuff like that, and it's always handy. All right, so what was I was saying something. I was talking about early recovery. Yeah, so here, I'll tell you guys this. In the first months before my awakening, so I think I was doing AA for, I think 6 months is what I said, 6 months before my awakening. Well, I come from a bigger city. I joined, or moved to my mom's for, it was just supposed to be for the summer. I had put a halt with my band. I said, hey, I need to get away. They got another guitar player. That actually, even if I would have come back to the group, I think would have stayed around. People lose trust with us, so they have to make new decisions in life. But anyway, so I end up in a small town, and I'm going to AA. And I think, well, I got a little job. My parents had a coffee shop. So it was actually a really fun summer because I'd lost everything except for, I had a car. I had a guitar, my car, a computer. I had enough stuff that I could compose my album. So the album that's online right now, I composed in early recovery. In fact, I composed it before my awakening, a lot of it, and then finished it up after I had my awakening. And I remember rejecting God specifically, and then they said, well, you only have to have a higher power. So I'm like, well, that's good, because I don't want your Jesus. Long story short, God comes and just reveals himself, literally, in what I would call a supernatural spiritual awakening. I really had no way to explain it, and I got called a liar. And people told me at my AA groups that I was making it up. Well, not everybody. Some people knew that something happened because clearly I was pretty nuts as far as I was not living in normal reality. That's because I was encountered from the Lord of Heaven. I was encountered from a different plane of existence. But those around me that were white knuckling it in AA had a lot more time than I did. One guy said, you know, how does he get to have an awakening? He's only been doing this for 6 months. I've got 2 years. How come I don't have an awakening? And yeah, right in the middle of an AA meeting. And so that was one of the last times that I attended that specific group. But I found celebrate recovery, so I had my awakening. And actually, here's what's really funny. I started going to a celebrate recovery, told them, hey, I don't want your Jesus. I'm just going to use this as another meeting. I'm an AA guy, so I'll go to your small group meeting, but I don't want any of your Jesus. And then 3 weeks after that, I have my awakening encounter, and I show up, and I tell the guy that he had literally just heard me say, weeks before, I don't want your Jesus. I come back after my awakening and say, you'll never believe what happened. I don't know exactly what words I said, but it would be equivalent of saying the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob just revealed himself to me through a supernatural encounter, and my life's changed, and I don't know what to do. And so that's where my journey began. And for viewers and for those in early recovery that maybe are stuck on the idea of God, I will just tell you, I was there, guys. I was there. I wasn't planning on having God in my life, in my recovery, and he just showed up. All right, man. Look at that. It's starting to come back together. All that work just to change out the wheels. These are pretty slick, though. I'll tell you that. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and just wanted to put this thing together and talk some step 2 things. Life doesn't get perfect. Sometimes we're going to have struggles financially, and sometimes we're going to have struggles with relationships. But I'll tell you, it's so much better. I'd say easier, but just not just easier. It's so much more efficient and so much more joy when you do this stuff sober. Because you can't manage relationships and finances when you're drunk all the time. But it's these things like this, skating with my daughter. Now guys, I'm not like kick flipping or nothing like that. These wheels are for like cruising. So I'll cruise. Maybe one of my goals is before 2025. There we go. Before the year 2025, maybe I'll go into the bowl and come out. But that's about it. I don't plan to become an expert, but I wanted to have something that I can enjoy with my daughter. Golf too. My daughter Zoe likes to go golfing with me. She's a lot younger, but I think she has the potential to be much better at golf than I am. So I guess the moral of the story is enjoy your recovery. If you don't have something that like ownership, or you don't have a hobby or interest, you can get one. There's you got skateboarding here. You can go get yourself a skateboard. If you don't have the money, you can save up for it, or pray. The Lord likes to give gifts. He's a gift-giving God. I know He helped me get tires for my car one time when I was in a desperate place. And so He likes to see us have joy. And so if money's the issue, pray. Talk to friends and family. Let them know your situation. Music is a little expensive hobby. I'm a pretty advanced level of music, so it's more than a hobby for me. It's really a way of life. I love composing music and I love doing music, but it's never too late. You can pick up a bass guitar starter kit and get some lessons on YouTube. You don't really have to go pay for lessons or anything. And find something to replace the addiction. Because if you're anything like me, I spent a lot of money on my addiction. Sometime I'll do the math, but I would pick up a fifth of vodka every day after work. I did that for a number of years. Right, so that's... All right, there it is, guys. Look, that looks a lot sweeter. That's probably nothing wrong with these. These were the wheels that came with it. They're Birdhouse, so I'm sure they're pretty good quality. But all right, thanks. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this video. I just wanted to connect and hang out really, and get some wheels put on. And so Wednesday, I'm gonna get to go skating with my daughter. She's gonna be pretty stoked. But until next time, guys, remember, many are called, but you are positioned.